And here we are, folks. It's that time again. What the fuck Tuesday, where we go over the relationship advice questions that people have sent in that make you scratch your head and wonder what they were thinking, what they was doing, why they did it, how, they lost their sense of reason. And so, we always are left scratching our head at the end of this show. And so, those of you who are new here, that's what we do. We have advice questions that people have sent in, and I respond to them live on the air. The best show of the week. Thank you, Tracy. It's nice to have fans that appreciate your stuff. Yes, honey, my lips is red. Red. Plus, I was playing in the dots. So, I'm getting better at playing in the dots. That means makeup for those of you who don't know my lingo. Because you know how the makeup is in the little round dots. It's little dots. I don't know. It's dots. But I wanted to take a minute before we get started. I want to show you guys a picture of my daughter. This is my daughter when she was 3. She was 3 years old in this picture. They did this at the daycare. Look how cute and innocent she looks. Now she's like a demon spawned from hell. But in that moment, that was my baby, just so adorable. I could hardly stand to go to work. Yeah, I'll be looking at the YouTube videos trying to figure out how to do all of this. Playing in the dots, I'm telling you, that's what it is. Because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm figuring it out slowly but surely. But yeah, so let's get started because we have a lot to do. Let's see how many. Isn't she cute? She was just adorable. I'm telling you. We would go places and people would just give her money. It was crazy. I'm like, But yeah, they give her money and stuff. I was like, wow. Okay, looks like we got 23 questions today. 23. So let's get started. We're removing our magical cover page that says what? January 14th, some month with a J. So here we go. Question number 1. This is from a female in the 26 to 29 age group from New Jersey. And she says, after 2 years of dating, I was finally able to express to my boyfriend what I feel every time he brings up his dead girlfriend in everything I do or say. 2 years, and she took that for 2 years. Once I mentioned awesome sauce, and he immediately brought up how she picked it up from him and how she used to say it a lot back then and it reminds him of happy days. We're both metalheads. He was actually surprised that I am because I seem to be the softy kind. And he made me listen to Losing You and As a Butterfly by Dead by April. I don't know what she's talking about. And I know it might be assuming, but I kind of connect the dots and feel like it is still a song for her. Okay, this girl was a childhood friend. She died 5 years ago. She was murdered. I don't know what really happened because I was too scared to ask. We met in a group on Facebook, and I've been seeing his posts before about this girl, how he called her the love of his life, and ever since she died, everything is just bleak. Based on his comments, she had a beautiful personality. She was smart and pretty. And after that incident, he started having nightmares about a little girl he cannot save and all of that. I finally got the courage to inform him about what I feel towards him. I just ended up blaming myself because he told me that thinking about it makes him so depressed. I know it is my fault too, and I crossed the line by asking, but I just want to know, since it bothers me, am I wrong? What do you want to know? How she died? Can't you Google it? I mean, once you know the chick's name, right? I mean, it should be easy to figure out without having to ask him. But the main thing is this. This dude is still in love with another woman. Okay, this is, all this other stuff, all these emotions you talking about and awesome sauce and being a metalhead and songs and all this stuff is irrelevant. You're not dealing with the true issue. The issue is every time you say something, he brings up this other woman. That means he's still in love with her. He's still focused on her. And for a man to say, when someone is deceased, that was the love of my life, that means they have a very long road ahead of them of continuing to grieve and mourn that person. I know this because I was that person. Okay, I'm speaking from personal experience. He ain't ready for a relationship. It took me years to get ready. I mean, I went out with people, but I was real clear that I was not trying to be emotionally connected to nobody. I'm not trying to be in love with nobody. I'm not trying to be committed because that wouldn't be fair to them. And I wasn't ready. Neither is he. So the sooner you accept that, if you want to be friends and if you can do it, you like the guy or whatever, but I'm just telling you right now that you're wasting your time and you're investing emotions in a situation where you're never going to get back what you're looking for because he's incapable of giving it to you right now. It may be years before he gets over this, especially when she was taken so suddenly in such a violent way. That was a shock. So he has to even deal with that. And the dream that he's having about a little girl that he can't save, don't you see the mental association? Whatever happened to her, he feels guilty that he wasn't there to protect her. And he could have saved her. That's what he's dealing with. So this dude is an emotional hot mess. I don't know you're going to listen to me or not, but I'm suggesting that you tell him that it's obvious he's still, mourning this woman and that he's not ready for a relationship and that you stop wasting any more time. You've already put in 2 years. That's 2 years too many. Because as soon as he said, somebody was the love of his life, I'd have been like deuces. Because if I can't be the love of your life, then what the fuck am I doing here? Okay, this is the whole new what the fuck for what the fuck Tuesday. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So that's all I got to say to you, honey. All right, you guys, do you guys agree? I mean, did I skip something? I mean, I'm just like some dude talking like that about some other woman every time you turn around and she dead. It's like you can't even like compete. You cannot compete with a ghost. The fantasy that somebody has in their head of someone's perfection, you can't there's nothing you can do with that. Yeah, he needs some therapy. He needs some grief counseling. I thanks I knew. I got some and it was extremely helpful. All right, question number 2. Female, 30 to 36 from the UK. I don't know if I should break up with my boyfriend of a year and a half. That means yes. Anytime you start doubting it, that means yes. For the last couple of months, we've had ups and downs. He's draining my energy, and I, in return, affect his energy because of my negative thinking, my timid nature, and my sensitivity. Lately, every time I leave him for the day, I say to myself, how can we ever live together? How could we ever have kids together? At least now, because we live separately, I'm able to get a break at home, but if we live together, there would be no escape. I'm afraid by breaking up that I will regret it. He has good qualities as well that I would miss. He's extremely faithful and giving, and I don't think I'll find another man like that. In fact, I don't think I want to date until 4+ years. Breaking up with him would mean losing a lover, a confidant, and a friend. He's got a lot of great things in the works that I helped him with, so I want to make sure I finish helping him complete that by the end of the month. And then I think I want to bow out. How do you know when it's time to let go? I feel like the worst thing I can do is look back and regret breaking up. I'm 33 and he's 47, if that matters. Wait a minute, he's 47 and you have to help him as a 30 whatever year 3-year old woman to get his shit together, and you're wondering if you should break up. You should have broke up with him as soon as he needed your help. At 47, he on the downstroke to 50. He should be helping you. You almost 20 years younger than him. I wouldn't care what other kind of lovely things you think he has. This man, you having ups and downs, and you want to break up with him. That means that it's not you're not happy in the relationship. There's something really missing. You want to hang on to it. And we're going to be talking about this in February too. This attitude that she's projecting, like, well, I'm going to hang on to this because I don't know if I'll meet somebody better. And, so it's like this thought of less, of lacking, of scarcity. And that's not love. That's desperation and I don't know, thirst and a whole bunch of other unattractive things. But it's nothing that a woman should be in a relationship for out of fear of, I'll regret it in the future. You might be dancing the jig and doing the cabbage patch and the running man and the Roger Rabbit, all that because dude is crazy. But if my thing is this, if you're a mature woman and you're over 30 years old, and in your mind is you're questioning and doubting a future with this man, That's your female intuition is telling you this is not gonna work for you. Have the courage to let it go. Stop being a weenie. Oh my God. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what she's trying to do here. Because to me, it's a wrap. She's already said she's started. I don't know if I should break up with him. Then she gave all these reasons why she should break up with him. So I'm like, what's the problem? Let's go. Let's move on here. You're only 33. It's not like you 93. Question number 3. Female, 26 to 29 from Boulder, Colorado. About 2 months ago, I met someone online. Oh no. Ugh, that's always a depressing thought. We hit it off right away, but I have my doubts about the relationship. First of all, he wants to open a bar with his dad. I have a 9 to 5 job. When would I ever see him? I know it's early to think about it, but I'm turning 30 and I don't want to lose any time on someone who wouldn't be compatible. But the thing that concerns me the most are the comments he's made about my weight. Oh, out. He often tells me he loves my character and that I have a pretty face, but he has difficulties with my weight. The reason he went on more dates with me is because I told him I go to the gym and I'm working on my physique. I'm about 40 pounds overweight. I'm not the prettiest woman, but it's not that I look like a monster either. I have guys telling me they find me attractive the way I am right now. I admit I don't like the way I look and I want to be healthier, hence the gym. But apparently I don't lose weight fast enough because recently my boyfriend made some comments. Are you going to eat that? You've eaten less than normal when he made protein pancakes instead of regular ones. How many times did you go to the gym last week? And recently he gave me the number of a dietitian he once consulted, telling me he will even pay for my consult if I don't want to. I was offended and I told him so. My previous relationship also made comments about my weight, and I just ignored them even though they hurt me, but I don't do that anymore. Yes, you are. You're doing it right now by not breaking up with him, by writing to me instead of cussing his ass out. You're ignoring it. You're just not understanding that that's what you're doing. So let me continue. My boyfriend apologized, telling me he was saying these things to help me, but it was really hurtful. I am losing weight at my pace. It wasn't easy for me fully focusing on losing weight with my mom being sick and dealing with the problems at work and the hurt from my previous breakup. Yeah, those are all very stressful things. He said he understood and hasn't mentioned it since. Besides, I will always look curvy even when I'm not overweight. It's just the way I'm built. If he wants a slim girl, cool, just tell me and I'm gone. He told me he doesn't want me to be gone. But it stays in the back of my mind. I mean, my own boyfriend doesn't find me attractive. I have a nice character and a beautiful face, apparently, but we've only been together for 2 months. Shouldn't this be the honeymoon phase where everything is perfect, where you like every inch of the other person? What if he meets a beautiful slim girl at this bar who wants him? Will he still think about my lovely character then? Do you have a piece of advice? I don't know what to do. When I'm with him, I notice I'm careful of what I'm eating and I don't feel that comfortable anymore doing eggplant either. Get rid of this fool. First of all, he's going to be at a bar. Okay, if he's any kind of good looking guy and these girls know that he's an owner, they going to hone in on him like white on rice because they don't think he got some money. Or they're going to be wanting free drinks. There's going to be something they're going to be trying to get out of dude. And, you know, if he's cute, like I said, they're gonna be throwing themselves at him too. So this for someone who is already has dealt with a lot of emotional stress, from your job, from your mom being sick, and from this breakup of the relationship. You've already dealing with three extremely stressful things. They have those stress charts. Those are three things that are really, really high up on the scale. You have a lot going on. You've only been dealing with this dude for 2 months. I would, if I were you, not date anyone. Concentrate on your program here, what you're trying to do. Get yourself together emotionally, get yourself together physically, spend your time at the gym, exercising, eating better, doing all these kinds of things for yourself, not for a man. Do it so that you feel good when you look in the mirror and like what you see. That's very important for you to build, have good self-esteem. When you feel good about yourself and you have good self-esteem, you will make better choices. And in case of a situation like this, soon as he said something about your weight, you would have cussed him out and dumped him. But see, you didn't do that. You want to argue with him and feel bad and go through all these changes with some clown that you've only been dating for 2 months. This is too much drama. Cut him loose. Move on. Spend your time in the gym. You've seen Bar Rescue. I don't even know what that is. But let's move on to the next letter, which looks a little long. Okay, let's trim this down. Excuse me. I'm still coughing a little bit, you guys, just a little bit. All right, female. This is question number 4 of 23. Female 30 to 36 out of Minnesota. Hey, Auntie Deb, thank you for taking my question. The behavior of my best friend is concerning lately. We met 14 years ago in the fitness community, which is our shared passion. She's been there for me through major events in my life. She's been a major figure in my wedding as my bridesmaid. However, she seems to have changed a couple of years ago when I got married and my career took off. She's acting different, or could it be that I'm just now noticing it? She takes several days to return a call or text or just doesn't respond at all. Recently, her apartment announced they're closing, and I offered to let her and her cat stay in my house for a few days while I helped her look for a new place. She spoke like she was going to come over, but at the last minute, she stayed with a different friend. My husband and I have a wonderful marriage, and we are very happy. When she bailed on staying with us, he said something that stuck out. He said, "It seems like she doesn't like coming to our house because it's a reminder of what she doesn't have." We live in a very nice community in a beautiful house, and she lives in a small apartment in a bad area of Minneapolis. He said mainly she doesn't like being around us as a reminder of her failed relationships. And then he told me that he's always gotten a negative vibe about her, something he can't put his finger on, but that she acts odd around him. Even though he looks very different from the guy she's dated, she did tell me that he was cute. Well, I mean, what you want your friend to tell you that your man is a Gila monster? I mean, once she also made a negative comment about his job. He's kind, hardworking, well paid, reliable, and just an all around great guy. When we talk on the phone, I stop what I'm doing, sit down, and give her in the conversation my full attention. She, on the other hand, slams around doing dishes and even use her blender while I talk. Oh, that's extremely disrespectful. The other day, she volunteered to assist with an important project. She would have been able to do it in 5 minutes at home, but she didn't keep her word. Wow. And a few months ago, to celebrate a small promotion, I invited her and her cat over for a girl sleepover. Her cat peed in every room of my house and even took a dump on my stairs, despite me having 3 litter boxes throughout the house. She had a real nonchalant attitude about it and did a very lazy job of cleaning. When my husband came home the next day, his allergies went haywire. What is your take on why she could be acting like this? What would you do? I'm also curious what the squad thinks. Thank you. Okay, squad, she done called on you. Yeah, I'm thinking, some envy there. It's not to say that she's like, because see, to me, envy is I like what you have and I want it too. Jealousy is I like what you have and you don't deserve it, heifer. That should be me. So the way that she's acting is more like jealousy, not envy. And, she's acting really hateful and mean. So what you should do is stop trying so hard. I know it's really difficult when you think you have this friend, but I'm telling you, it's like, how old are you? Let me see. I'll be forgetting. 30 to 36. Well, I'm gonna say this. Freud says every 7 years we go through a major metamorphosis. So, at around 27, 28, women do it. They call it Saturn's return. And then, again in your 30s. You're about at that age. So, somewhere in there, you're going to have to understand that you have changed to the point where this girl no longer she can't be your friend anymore. So, in the future, don't call her. Stop calling her. Okay, if she calls you, you can talk. The second she starts doing something else, you say, "Well, I see you're busy, so I'm going to let you go now." You don't hang on the phone and be tortured like that. You hang up, girlfriend. You get off the phone. And as far as inviting her to your house and going through all that stuff, don't do any of that anymore. If you guys get together, meet out somewhere without your husband, go out for lunch or something like that, um, and just see what happens. Because I'm betting that as you stop making that effort, you will see that this relationship that you think you have with this woman, this friendship that you imagine that you have, you will see that there's nothing there. She's not going to put forth any effort. Yeah, frenemy. And it's not like she's doing anything, like overtly antagonistic to her. She's being very passive aggressive. And so she's like, I can just see her like on the phone turning the blender on and rolling her eyes and smacking her lips like, yeah, I'm going to drown her out. This kind of thing. instead of just saying, it just makes me uncomfortable. I'm just really mad that my life is not like yours. I'm trying to figure out where I went wrong. I mean, if you really are friends, I mean, talk honestly and tell, your friend what's going on with you. You work those things out. But when you got people who are being like this, there's nothing you can do here, honey. This is outside your control. I applaud you for trying so hard, but it's time to stop now. Okay? Don't call her anymore. Don't make any effort. If she reaches out to you, make sure, like I said, don't invite her to your house and don't you go to hers. You all meet out somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, she gonna drop off. She's just they're just hanging on, and so probably just out of boredom, but whatever. Question number 5. This is a female, 30 to 36. She just says Midwest. I've been married for 10 years and have 2 children from a previous marriage. My husband works hard and always asks if I'm tired when I'm quiet and sad. He falls asleep on the sofa most nights and spends most of his time on his phone watching videos. On the weekends, he fixes his car, goes to football games. I'm self employed and work from home. My life is solitary, so I look forward to everyone coming home. But the person I want time with to talk to and be interested is not there anymore. I could be anyone. What's the point? I feel so low, tearful, and very lonely and sad. Help. Hmm. Okay. Now you may have done this, but of course it's not reflected in the letter, so I can only go by what you put. Have you made plans to do things with your husband, or are you waiting for him to do everything? Let me tell you a secret about marriage. If you want to do something, you better make the reservation. You better put out the clothes you gonna wear, put out the clothes he gonna wear, tell his ass what time to be ready, and to say, get in the car, this is where we're going. If you want to go on a vacation, you say, look in the brochure, this is where we're going. Give me your credit card so I can buy our tickets. That's pretty much how it is. Because men, unless you have a real adventurer type, they don't think about doing anything. So they just want to be, quote, comfortable all the time. So if you want excitement in your life and excitement in your marriage, you want variety, stimulation, and all these kind of things, you're going to have to be the initiator. So you sitting around looking all lonely and sad and tearful and shit, get off your ass and make the magic happen. Okay? He trying to go play football and shit. He don't want to sit around the house looking at you with a long ass face. I'd go somewhere too. But instead of doing that, make plans. Get a babysitter or something. Y'all go out. Do something with yourself. This is just silly for you to be this young and this just passive. I wore mine. Like, we going to Hawaii, we going to Jamaica. We going here, we going there. We going out to dinner. No, we ain't going to your mama's house. We going over here, over there, yonder, to LA, or wherever. We was going Vegas. We was doing something. We're not doing that. We're going to do what I want to do because what I want to do is fun and what you want to do is boring. And guess what? He would go where I wanted to go because he wanted to be with me and we would have a good time. Well, you have to, the adventurer type is you. I'm telling you, women are far more interested in stuff than men are. Men are just kind of boring people. They're very simple. So if you want something from your man, you're going to have to get off your ass and make it happen. He'll happily go along with you, but women get frustrated because they're waiting for him to do it. You of course you want to do. I mean, it's romantic. I get it. But you know what? Create the romantic environment, and once he's in it, then he'll be romantic. Y'all don't understand. It's like I got to tell y'all these things. You youngsters, you don't understand how this works. You can't just sit there on your butt and think that your husband is going to know by magic what you want and how to, entertain you and make you happy and bring excitement. That's a very rare guy. Most of them, you have to do it. They'll be happy to go along and they will have a blast when you get there. But if you leave it up to him to plan it and execute it, you're going to be sitting on the couch or in your backyard with a camping kit thing, tent out there trying to pretend like you on a camping trip instead of really on a camping trip. Stuff like that. Just do it. Make him come. He'll be happy to come. And then he'll go to work and tell all his friends about the trip his wife took him on and how fabulous it was and how much fun they had and how romantic it was and how the bugs bit him and all the stuff he saw. And he'll be so excited. You know? So you have to do it. So get off your butt, lady. Question number 6, male, 37 to 45 from Redding, California. My last remaining parent passed a month ago. I am a full time dad with a 7-year old. My father lives about 13 hours away in another state, so I made the drive up. So if he's in Redding, so his dad's probably in Washington State or something. So I made the drive up, arranged the funeral, handled the estate, and helped his girlfriend, etc. My girlfriend works full time, but she's off on Wednesday. So while I was up there on Tuesday morning, she texted and said after work on Tuesday night, I'll drive up, pick up some of your dad's things to help, and then drive back and go to work on Thursday. I politely declined. I would never want her to drive basically 26 hours straight and in snow. It just felt odd for her to come to cart my dad's things back home. She kept insisting, and then she started with, "Oh, you don't want me to be a part of your family?" So at that point, I'm even more irritated to have to deal with his death and her feelings. During the next few days, she kept making comments like, "Oh, you don't like me. Oh, you don't want to be with me. Oh, you don't text much today." And then when I told her about my inheritance, she said, "Oh, are you going to pay off my debt?" What? Then the minute I get back home after driving 13 hours, she starts with, "Well, you didn't make plans to see me yet, so I will be busy for the next week or so. I will leave you alone." That night, she also sent a long breakup email. I do see her, and she is cold as ice, saying we won't be together. This is the game she always seemed to play to want me to say something like, "Oh, I love you, let's be together." But at this point, I'm so over it. We saw each other a few more times, and each time she would again say things like, "Oh, you will never find a hotter girlfriend." No, she said, "You will find a new hotter girlfriend," and "Oh, you never loved me," etc., etc. So I just got sick of it all and truly stopped seeing her. Then she sent me a long email telling me how I broke her heart, and she always knew I would. Did I do something that wrong? Is she immature? Is this a red flag for some other issues? Oh, yeah, she's immature. Let me tell you why. I don't know. You don't say how old she is. You say you're in the 37 to 45 age group. So let's just say you're 37 and she's, I don't know, 30. She's very immature because of the fact that you're dealing with the death of your father. And the way you make it sound like, you're like the only kid that was handling the state and stuff. And his girlfriend, I mean, she's not family. So her hands are tied. It's not a lot she can do legally unless he had made her executor of his estate or something. So she's just, there. So the burden and all the responsibility fell evidently on you because he's your last remaining parent. That means there's no mom to step up. It's just you and your dad, right? So instead of understanding that and asking you, is there anything you need me to do? How can I help you? Baby, I'm so sorry. I'm there if you need me. That's the kind of stuff you say. You don't try to force yourself into somebody's situation like that. And especially driving in the snow for 13 hours, he's going to be worried about your ass being exhausted, rolling off the road and killing yourself or something. And he's already stressed out enough. This is just retarded. And then playing these games. Oh, you don't like me. You don't want to be with me. And all. So she's turning a situation where you're grieving, upset, and all of this stuff into something about her and her ego and her feelings. She's extremely emotionally immature. He has a very low emotional intelligence level, and you should be counting your blessings that she showed her hand and you broke up with her. She's stupid. Okay? No, you didn't do anything wrong. Leave her alone. She's dumb. And she's just, like next level stupid. Like here's stupid and she's way up there somewhere. So you just leave her alone. There's no good that can come out of this situation. Oh, what happened to this font? Okay, female 26 to 29. This is question number 7 of 23 if you're just joining us on What the Fuck Tuesday live stream relationship advice questions and answers. So this is a female 26 to 29 from Ontario. I was recently married in April of 2019 and just heard my husband talk negatively behind my back to his friends. If he says something positive, he always negates that with a negative comment. Like, for instance, someone asked how we were doing. He said, "Oh, she's cool, but she has her moments." Or, "She has a good heart, but tends to veer off course at times." I don't get why he would speak negatively about me at all, given the fact that I'm the breadwinner in the family and he has it pretty darn nice at home. He works but doesn't make a lot of money. So I don't even know how to approach this subject with him or if I even should. One time we got into a huge fight about something silly like it always is, and I told him there was a door if he wanted to leave. Yes, my favorite phrase. Next thing I know, he's on the phone with his best friend who has a place for him if he ever needs it. All that needs turned on is the utilities. I heard him telling him that he's just biding his time. I did confront him on that comment, but he claimed he was just angry with me. I don't know what to think about him talking negatively behind my back. Let me tell you what you about to get ready. He getting ready to leave your ass and you going to be on the hook for alimony. That's what's about to happen. Why did you marry this fool? Okay, why? Obviously, he was made. He this couldn't have just magically happened. He was already saying some negative things that you just ignored, and doing stupid shit that you just didn't pay attention to because you had blinders on and you was focused on being married. That's typically how it goes. And the fact that you're the breadwinner, see, I'm just so cold. I'm telling you. He'd have been his friends talking about, oh, she has a good heart, but she tends to veer off course at times. It's like, well, the only course I might be veering off on is the one with your broke ass, since I'm the one that makes most of the money. Now, you want to talk about hurting somebody's feeling and acting a fool? Let me show you how to do it. And I would do it without blinking an eye. You want to clown me in front of your friends? Let me clown your broke ass. Sitting at home, you like Mr. Mom and shit, but you don't even have no kids. I would talk about him really, really bad. Really bad. So he would never do that again. She's cool, but she has her moments. That's the kind. See, like, yeah. But see, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get a divorce until I clowned him and hurt all his feelings and humiliated him in front of his friends like he was trying to do me. I would have to put the mash on his feelings and do it and talk so much shit to him and go on and on and on and on and on and just say every foul, funky shit thing I could think of in front of his friends about his ass and say, and plus, you can't even fuck. So you're broke, you dusty, and you can't fuck. You lucky I married you at all. I don't even know what the fuck I wasted my time for. As a matter of fact, why don't you go on over there and stay with your friends so we can get a divorce? Because you stupid. Something like that. I'm just saying, this guy, I just live for the man who would try to clown me in front of his friends like that so I could just act the original fool. You know, the one that's in the dictionary, that one, where my picture is going, yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Question number 8. Female, this font, something happened. Female, 21 to 26 in London. I've been dating a guy for the last 2 months. We became boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm finding it difficult and I'm not sure how to progress. He's busy, super busy. Just doesn't feel like he can make time for me. Last weekend, he was walking with his friends and then out to a pub on Saturday night, and Sunday he played football. This weekend, he's out Friday drinking, football game Saturday night, playing football Sunday. He wants to see me again the next week. He wants to see me the next again weekend in 2 weeks' time. However, I've had plans with the girls for a full month to go out. He knows this. I told him no. He keeps asking to meet me then, and I said, look, if you can't make plans with me, I accept that, but don't expect me to cancel my plans. Last night I was unhappy at having to wait 3 weeks to see him. I asked when he would make time for me. He advised he would come to mine through the week. I complained about this last night. Then in the morning I apologized and advised I'm happy to see him through the week sometime, to which he replied, sorry, I got freelance I have to do and nights that I keep putting off next week though. I'm frustrated. Her writing is horrific. Is he keen or is he just not making me a priority? He says he wants to be with me, claims he is obsessed by me, and wants to be my boyfriend, but doesn't seem to make any time at all in his life. I told him he needs to make more time for me or stop stringing me along and ended. And after he viewed my mail, didn't respond and keeps going on and offline. What's his issue? His issue is that he's with a woman who's stupid. That's his issue. You fell for the boyfriend game. This is what they do, and they keep a whole bunch of women on the hook, like only fucking them, while he's out doing whatever he want to do with 10, 12, 15 women who all think that he's their boyfriend, even though they don't see him for 3 or 4 weeks at a time. Wake up, okay? That's not a boyfriend. That's just somebody you're fucking. And he's just not even doing a good job of that. So, this. And what you mean? He's not stringing you along. You're stringing yourself. I've told y'all 950 million times. Anytime a man is not giving you the relationship that you want, you cut him loose immediately. No apologies. No thought about it. No excuses. No buts. No ifs. No ands. No maybes. He's gone. Okay, this should not even have happened. By the time he pulled that first little stunt and you didn't see him, he's coming talking about he's coming over, and then you don't see him. He got all this other shit to do on the weekend when you all working during the week, and that's the only time you can see him, and he don't show up. That should have told you right there. That's not. He's not interested in you. Not like that. He's just trying to keep you around, for his convenience. Stop it, you guys. Come on now. Oh my God, this is a perfect example for next month. No kinds of boundaries at all. No kind of standards. Yeah, she's a silly, silly woman. That's what I said. She's like, what's his problem? The problem here is you. You just dumb. I hate to be like that, because they be young and silly and they, try to act like they don't know. But how could you not know if you got to chase a man and you got to say to him 15 times, I need you to spend time with me. You don't even say that one time. See, my thing is if I feel like I have to say that to you, then that means the relationship is over. That means you're not meeting my needs. Okay, I should not have to chase you down. That should never happen. So, that's what I'm telling you guys. You guys that got to have higher standards for the guys that you have in your life that you want to call your man and you devoting your time and attention and investing in. You cannot do this with these knuckleheads. Oh my God. Ooh. Wait a minute. I forgot. I was going to say I need some wine and I forgot I have some. Yeah, she's in a sad state. Question number 9. This is a male. Oh, finally, a guy, 30 to 36 out of Philly. So, my girlfriend of 2 years is turning 24 in about 3 weeks. I surprised her with a weekend getaway to New York and tickets to Broadway. Wow, what a nice birthday. Our trip is a week before her actual birthday, so it doesn't conflict with anything her mother might have planned. My girlfriend was super happy and excited finding out the surprise since I asked her how to spell her middle name for the plane tickets. See, dude, this is what I'm talking about. 30 to 36, he knows how to do shit. And she's turning 24. So, yeah, he got his shit together on that tip. Her mother cannot stop her from going, but is constantly starting fights and getting mad at her. This isn't the first time. Whenever my girlfriend sleeps over my house, her mother cops an attitude towards her. It affects our relationship because my girlfriend's hesitant about spending too much time with me. We only see each other Friday through Sunday, and my girlfriend usually sleeps over one night each week. Well, since we're going to New York in a couple of weeks, her mom is pissy, and my girlfriend is refusing to sleep over at all because we'll sleep together the entire weekend in New York. This even isn't even a reason. The reason is what make her mother more and more angry. She still lives at home with both parents and 3 other siblings. I suppose I'm being a little pushy, but she sleeps over every single weekend. Now all of a sudden she won't. And I know it's because of the pressure from her mother. The mother's going through menopause on some kind of anxiety or depression meds and drinks a good amount of wine every night. She should not be drinking if she's on antidepressants. She gets these moods where she targets one of her kids and literally picks on them all night to the point where it turns into a fight. It's sad. All the kids talk about whose night it is. Wow. Talk about dysfunctional. I feel like this mother's jealous or resentful, and I don't know how to deal with it. Me wanting my girlfriend to sleep over once a week doesn't seem that outrageous. It puts her in a bad spot, having to choose between making me happy or not making her mother mad. The meta problem here seems to be her mother's inability to accept her, quote, children are now adults. I noticed when we first started dating that the mother seemed to kind of hover. She would question us about what we were planning on doing, where we were going, what time we would be back. It didn't seem that crazy, her questioning us like we were 16 or 17. I'm 28. Neither one of us did drugs, have legal issues, or have any problems holding a job. We are two young, white collar adults living in suburban America, growing up with decent jobs down the path of life. Her mother doesn't seem to approve of this. She cannot, quote, let go. If your child is happy and in a healthy relationship, shouldn't the mother be happy? Not if she's in a miserable one. There's a lot of people who just cannot stand, and I hate to say it, because I never realized how many sick and twisted mothers there were until the last few months when we've been getting a lot more letters lately about crazy parents on this show. Um, I used to get like a few, but I mean, I think word spread that, I was answering questions about family stuff, so we've been getting more. You know how that is. People listen and then they say, "Oh, somebody who can answer my question." I wasn't going to ask it because I thought they only did dating, and so I'm gonna ask this question about my crazy mama, my stepfather, my brother, all this kind of stuff. So we've been getting a lot more family oriented types of questions in here. I'm thinking this young girl, she's gonna have to make a decision. She's gonna have to move out. That's what she's going to have to do. Now you like her so much, you don't say, did you say how long y'all? Yeah, 2 years. Clown, why don't you have her move in with you? That would solve all of these problems. Okay, but you haven't made that commitment. So what you want me for me? I mean, she lives with her parents until she makes enough money or has enough gumption to move out on her own. This is just the way that it's gonna be. Her mother's tripping. And so she's, choosing to stay there. So you want to change the situation, you want to have her more to yourself, and you want to help her have some defenses, then y'all move in together. And then that will be that. There's the answer, the solution, the resolution to all of these issues. Question number 10, female, 18 to 21, Jackson, Mississippi. There's this guy, known him for about 9 to 10 months. Over the span, he have invited me out around 7 to 8 times with his friends, but no one-to-one invitations. What should I make out of this? Does he see me as only a friend? Yep. Either that or um he is like super scared. I mean, you guys are young. I mean, maybe you're the first girl he really liked and really, went around with. He needs the support of his friends. With young guys, there's always that possibility, that they're just a nervous wreck. However, 7 or 8 times with his friends, that's just kind of odd to me. So, what I would suggest is that you say, hey, it's nice hanging out with you. Thanks, thanks, Lady Boss. It's nice hanging out with you and your friends, but I would like us to spend some time, just the two of us, so I could get to know you better one on one. How do you feel about that? He might say, no, I don't feel good about that, or I don't want to. In which case, you would know that you're wasting your time liking this fella. If he says, that's a good idea, I was interested in doing that too, but I just didn't know how to say it, then there you go. But either way, you'll have the answer to this question that you're asking, and you can either move on or let this go. And the question, I mean, it's just, you know, well, we don't know. He might just be, like I said, just a nervous wreck. So insecure and unsure of himself because he's never done dating before. That's that happens. Just because people are 18, 19, not everybody has dating experience at that age. So, scared of guys, scared of rejection and all that stuff. So it's safety in numbers. He can pal around with her, he can be around her and everything, enjoy company with her, but there's the pressure, the sense of rejection that he might feel if he tried to make it, one on one is not there. But he still gets to be around her. You see what I mean? So we don't know which one it is, but it's gonna be one of those two. Either he's just sees her as a friend or he's scared shitless. So she needs to just take the bull by the horn and ask him, just like I said, in a non-threatening way, and see what his answer is. He'll either say that's a great idea or he'll say no, I don't want to. And so then, they can move on from that. Question number 11. This is from a female, 26 to 29, someplace called Redwood Bluff. I was around 5'1" and 100 pounds when we got married, and 6 years later, I'm 5'1" and 125 pounds. He constantly comments on my body and my weight, even though I've never asked for his opinion. I know my body isn't perfect, but I'm working on accepting that. Actual things he has said to me. Number one, the day after I gave birth and was getting dressed in front of him, disgusted tone and expression. Is your stomach going to stay like that? By the way, it takes 2 weeks for the uterus to return to normal size. Number two, it's not baby weight when the baby's 2 years old. Number three, your thighs are huge. When you sit down, they look even more enormous. Number four, it's like you've lost weight everywhere except for your hips. It's very noticeable from behind. I'll even take a photo and show you so you can see for yourself how fat your ass is. Number five, I'm just motivating you to lose weight. Who else is going to tell you that you're fat? Number six, he even has a game he plays with our 3-year-old daughter. Who's the tall one? Her. Daddy. Who's the cute one? Me. Who's the fat one? Mommy. And they both laugh at me like it's funny. He's disgusting. Why do you keep trying on clothes? This is number 7. If you're never going to buy anything, you keep saying it doesn't look good on you. But the truth is that thin people, he meant women, don't need to try on clothing because they look good in everything. So maybe just lose weight before you go clothes shopping again. Number 8, short and fat isn't a good combination. and on and on. On average, he'll make one or two body shaming comments a week. I've talked to him about it, but he says he just wants her to be healthy and fit. It's hurtful and unhealthy for my daughter to hear those comments about her dad, or from her dad about her mom. Girl, you need to start firing back. Why are you sitting up there just taking that motherfucker talking to you like that? Since your thighs are huge, I wish your dick was. It's not baby weight when the baby is 2 years old. Who said it was baby weight? I'm not tripping. It's more cushion for the pushing. And if you don't want to push it, I'll find somebody else who will. And look like you lost every weight except for your hips. You know what? Men all over the world like a woman's big ass. And then I would get in the mirror and I would start twerking, and I would get all bend down on the floor and shake it and just do all kind of shit. Put on some of them little short shorts and walk around and clap your cheeks and just do all kind of shit and say, yeah, just look at this fat ass. Whoop. You just jealous because you got a white boy ass and flat like a fucking pancake or something equally, rude. But anyway, this is the kind of thing is you got to fight fire with fire. You guys who get your feelings hurt, yeah, it's nasty for him to say this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I condone his behavior at all. What I'm saying is when they start with this stuff, fire back. Do not let them get away with hurting your feelings and you don't hurt theirs back. And you hurt theirs to the fucking core. Go for the jugular. Don't hold back. Say everything. Cut his ass down to size. He think he gonna be sitting up there talking about you. I would fuck him up. You can't log off. We just getting started. I'm just saying, you know, and go down there and just take his ass around some black men and say, look, is my butt too big? And so the brothers can say the shit right in front of us, say, nah, your ass is fine, girl. Look at here. This and that and blah, blah, blah. And let him hear that. See, that's what I mean. You just don't. You guys are too nice to these men. You worry too much about their fucking feelings. I worry about mine. And if once they cross that line and start saying some stupid shit, see the kid gloves come off, and any feelings that I had for you of love will go up and locked in a cabinet, and I'm going to rip your fucking ass a new. You're ready to get a new ass ripped. That's what's gonna happen, and you're gonna be sorry you said this shit to me. I'm going to hurt every feeling you ever had. Then I'm going to start it on your mama. And then your sister and your nappy headed kids that you have with that nappy headed crazy ass baby mama that you got. I'm going to just read everybody. 2 hours later, I might stop talking. That's so fucking rude. Of course he's trying to make her have low. That's why you don't let them. That's what I'm saying. You fire back. If anybody's going to have low self-esteem around here, it's going to be you. It's not going to be me. Mine is like it's like out there in outer space is so high. So you can't affect my self-esteem, but out of that little shit that you got, which is why you want to think that you can chip somebody else down so you feel better about yourself, you weak punk ass little bitch made fool. You think that this is gonna hurt somebody. No, no, let me tell you how to hurt. Let me show you how to hurt somebody's feelings. And then I would proceed to do that. Yes, K Sarah. That's my friend from New York. That's her favorite phrase. Read somebody for filth. That's what she says. Keisha. I'm just saying. Women have, when you let go, you have a very sharp tongue. If you don't have one, you need to practice getting one. So that when they start that bullshit, you just rip them and hit them where it hurts. Yeah, you ass, but shit, I'm a bigger ass. I could be the biggest ass on two legs. And so there you go. And then after you do that and make him crumble to the floor and his ego be like it's been through a wood chipper, then you say, by the way, I'm leaving your fucking ass because you stupid. I refuse to have anybody that I have to rip like this, supposed to be my partner in my love. You just an ignorant punk ass bitch, and I hate that I even saw your face, let alone married you. Wasted my goddamn time and money on a wedding dress with marrying your fucking ass. I would be mad about that more than I would be anything else. Question number 12, male, 18 to 21 out of London. My girlfriend and I are very young. I'm 19, she's 18. We've been together for 2 years. Why? I've always been the insecure person in the relationship. I'm just not confident in myself due to my physical appearance and past. I suffer from depression and I currently have anger problems. I plan to go see a therapist soon to treat this. I dwell on my girlfriend's past, such as constantly bringing up her mistakes or being insecure or saying things such as how I feel she would be happier with someone else. I'm her first serious relationship, if you don't call it elementary or middle school stuff. We met each other's families. I took her virginity. I was the first guy who saw the real her since she's just been so shy. About one day, about a year and a half into our relationship, I was going through her phone. With her consent, I was able to see messages on her and my friend talking, which my girlfriend shared pics of an attractive dude that about 2 months into our relationship, as well as mentioned to one of her crushes during the first week we had started dating. This was while we were dating, so it made me upset, and I told her about it. She was denying it, but eventually she confessed that she was just attracted to him, and she never even talked to him or need me to cheat on me with them. I got some advice from people and eventually dropped it since I understand that sexual attraction is just human nature. We're now 2.5 years into our relationship. And for about the past year and a half, I've been constantly bringing up the past, making scenarios in my head, accusing her of anything and just being rude. I've also told her things of how I feel she's more attracted or wanted other more than me. She knows I've had depression in the past, and she definitely knows about my current anger issues. She recommends me to go to therapy, which at first upset me because I didn't want to seem weak. She was more patient with me than when I had first started acting like this, but I feel like she's starting to have enough. She starts calling me names such as crazy and stuff, which really pisses me off too, but sometimes her anger gets the best of her too. She's a girl who would rather talk things out when she's cooled down because she knows she says things she doesn't mean when she's heated. She felt my anger for probably more than a year, and I don't know what to do. Any advice? She should have left your ass a year. Wait, you've been with 2.5 years. She should have left your ass the first time you started acting stupid. See, my thing is this: even if I'm dating you, if we're not a committed couple, then whatever the fuck I do is my business. If I send pictures, even as a woman married, I'm going to send pictures. If I want to see pictures and look at a fine man, I'm going to do that. If you are so insecure that you can't stand that I look at something that looks nice, it's not saying I'm trying to leave you for him. I'm merely looking. It's a picture. It's not even a real person. And you flipping out about that? You're something wrong with you. And this thing, she need to get a gun because men like you who be talking about we don't have anger issues need to be shot. As soon as you start acting stupid, thinking you're gonna put your hands on somebody or stalk somebody or something because you mad, then you need to be shot. That's it. Dropped. Because you don't get to be mad. You be mad over the fuck's there somewhere. You don't get to be mad at a woman and accusing her of shit that she's not doing and acting a zip damn fool and thinking that you're gonna control somebody because you mad. No, you're just gonna be shot. And that just would be it. I don't know what's wrong with these people. He don't need therapy. He need his ass kicked. Therapy's not, this is kind of stuff he has full control over. See, this is the thing that drives me crazy about these kind of situations where you guys feel like, oh, he's out of control. He's this and that. These motherfuckers ain't out of control because they go to work and they be around their parents and they be at church and they be all kind of places. And guess what? They don't be angry. They don't be upset. They don't be acting stupid. They can control it when they want to. They act like this because they know that it works on you and you are easily intimidated by their anger. That's why they do it. Stop being intimidated. Glock up. Let him start acting a fool and shoot his ass. You don't have to shoot to kill. Shoot him in his kneecaps or something where he won't be walking and chasing nobody else. Or shoot him in his hand. I bet you he won't be trying to put his hand on nobody else after that because we have a big old hole in the middle of it. That's what I'm saying. Just stop them. But you guys, you got to understand that. Stop making excuses for them. Now, this is not, he don't need therapy. He has full control over this. He's choosing to act like this with her. Yeah, I picked that up when I was a teenager. Because I was looking. There's people that act stupid with their mates, right? But then they go out socially. Oh, they fine. They go to work. They running business. They dealing well with their customers. They doing everything very well. Very level-headed. Upsetting situations. They handle it with aplomb. No problems whatsoever. But let them get one-on-one with a woman, and they show their inside of their ass. And that when I first noticed that, I said, okay, I get it now. This is game and is designed to intimidate you into doing what they want. It's a method of control. using fear. That's why you shoot them. They act stupid one time, shoot them. Just pop a cap in his ass. He'll be all right. Yeah, he could be insecure if he want to, but he'll be ventilated and insecure at the same time. I just, what you want me to do? You was coming for me, and so I shot you. You should have stayed your ass over there somewhere and lowered your voice and acted like you had some sense. You shouldn't have been swinging and trying to grab on nobody and all these kind of things they be trying to do. And that shit will get you killed. So you have to be very careful. Some women like me are not wrapped too tight. So you don't want to do that. It might end badly for you. So let's move on. Question number 13. Female 56 to 65 from Spokane. I feel like I'm at a breaking point with my boyfriend of 6 years. While I know we really love each other and he has some great qualities, he has a split personality. Next. In particular, he can't ever see anything wrong with himself and becomes very defensive and angry if anything is brought up. For example, he has almost no assets but is able to pay bills with working and Social Security, but he has almost and is almost retirement ago. I don't know what, maybe she means age. Yet if I bring up that, it makes me nervous about how we would set up a household together if he runs short of money to help with the expenses. He totally disagrees and says he is doing, quote, just fine. Another example is that he can't accept the consequences of a bank fraud crime he committed almost 15 years ago. So when he applied to be a substitute teacher and they denied him because of this, he flipped out and said how unfair it was. A further example is how one of my adult children doesn't believe he's trustworthy. He yells at me and said I should tell that child he is totally trustworthy rather than saying the person may have that impression because of his past. I realize I'm far from perfect, but I'm also financially settled and I'm moral, and as a result, have had a really hard time being with him, but fell in love anyway. I know that as we age, there will always be something with a prospective partner that we have to deal with, but he seems to be narcissistic slash delusional sometimes, while most other times he's very loving and compassionate. Should I run from him and give up? Absolutely. Lace up like Flojo and be out. This guy's a loser. Okay, and you all financially stable and stuff. The next thing you know, you're gonna be having poison in your food, and everything's gonna be in his name. And then the next thing you know, your kids won't have shit, and he'll have all your stuff. Get rid of him. I mean, what is this dust that you did? He's a narcissist. He don't have shit, and he's crazy. Yep, that's right, Susan. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand what it is that you trying to do here. You too old for this. Your last years of your life, you in your last decade or two or whatever, you need to be like, living high on the hog and having fun and traveling and doing all this kind of stuff. You should not be dealing with somebody who committed a bank fraud and can't even get a job because of it. I mean, he could probably go and get that, record sealed or expunged or whatever if he's, paid all his restitution or whatever. He can do all that. But um, this is just, a problem. And one thing you would not want to do is marry him because then all of his problems will become yours. And that would just be a wrong, fatal mistake. Oh, Lord, what is wrong with these women? They just have no sense of self preservation at all. Just giving everything to a man. Question number 14 of 23 tonight on What the Fuck Tuesday here on January 14th, 2020. Is that first? Is that second What the Fuck Tuesday? This is a guy 26 to 29 from Cumberland, Maryland. My ex-girlfriend and I broke up for a bit now. It's been almost a year, and I'm getting a bit older at 28. The dating market seems really rough. Sometimes I wonder if people that get with one another just settled. Settled because they couldn't find someone. Dating is rough and it's tough out there. I am afraid that will happen to me. Just settle for someone that you don't really like, but it's tolerable. Just my random thoughts. I wonder how many people out there end up being with someone they don't necessarily love and just settle with. Okay, I'm not really hearing a question here, but I will give you my opinion. A lot. A lot of people do that, especially when they, are rebounding or they reach a certain age where they feel like, this could be their last chance to have a baby, be a dad before they get too old. Sometimes they're motivated because a parent is sick or dying and wants to see them married, and have a baby before they go. So they, feel this pressure to do it. And so they just look around and pick, whoever's there. And then there's an issue too where sometimes people do actually realize that their standards were a little bit excessive and that a person that might be perceived as being someone that they just quote settled for is actually a good fit for them. The person doesn't have all the bells and whistles that they imagine that they needed, but the person has the solid foundation in the core and they're very happy with the person. And so they say, it's kind of a they shrug and be like, okay, well, it's good enough. It's good enough. And, they're, pretty reasonably happy. But you have to have all the basics in play, you know, before you do anything like that. Because sometimes, we have our dreams we had from high school and we carry them with us into our 40s and they're a bit unrealistic, just a bit. And I encourage people to question what it is that you think that you need, because sometimes what you need is you think you need isn't really what you need. It's what you want. It's not what you need. So this is a very interesting question. But dude, you're only 28. Yes, I understand dating is rough out there. Wait till you get my age. You're gonna be like, oh goddamn. But yeah, you're only 28. You got a whole many, many years to go before you give up the ghost. So don't worry about it. Question number 15, female 30 to 36 out of Fresno. My husband and I have been together for 10 years, married for 3. I knew he was kind of a mama's boy. Oh, no. But now I'm getting really upset, and my opinion of my mother in law has steadily gotten worse. It started right before we got engaged when she told me some things I say may hurt his feelings, so think before I speak. That was followed by the time he invited her without asking me to come look at a house with us when we were house hunting. Then he invited her to go dress shopping with me and to taste the cakes again without asking me. The whole time while I was picking out the dress, she had these terrible looks on her face which were caught on camera. The morning of my wedding, she was so rude to my friends, the hairstylists, and MUA. I don't know what that is. To the point I had to continually apologize. At the wedding, she allowed my underage stepdaughter to get drunk. When I brought this up to hubby, all he said was she was stressed about the wedding and wanted everything to be perfect. Mind you, this is not her wedding, and she didn't help pay for anything, so her stress level didn't matter. This woman has made shady comments about my weight and how I spend my money. Of course, hubby never hears it or thinks she means anything by it, which leads me to my final straw this Christmas. Okay. As usual, she told hubby what she wanted, usually a list of expensive things. We have 4 kids together, and I'm in college, so it's mind-boggling that she would request such things as an Apple Watch, a smart TV, an iPad, laptop, etc. This year, she wanted an expensive storage mirror. Hubby waited too late and said that she was going to have to wait until after Christmas. I was not raised to go anywhere empty-handed when invited, so I used my last bit of money to buy this woman a gift similar to what she wanted. My gift from mother-in-law was a stocking stuffed with candy canes, a mini pack of Skittles, and a $10 Starbucks gift card, like I was a kid. What? She went on and on about how she loved the gift her son got her and never said anything. I was hurt, and he never said anything. I was hurt to say the least. Again, hubby doesn't see anything wrong. He thinks she can do no wrong. Then he brings up how I treat her and that I'm being selfish because I don't want her or my parents, for that matter, staying in a hotel room with us. He claims she can't afford to pay for a hotel room, yet her house costs twice as much as ours, and they recently put in hardwood floors. This was the point that I realized my marriage was in trouble. So, Deb, please tell me, is it all in my head? Is she being rude to or me? Is he a hopeless mama's boy? Is it crazy that I don't think it's appropriate for parents to stay in one hotel room with us and our kids? Girl, all you have to do is book 2 rooms. You got his credit card, right? Book 2 rooms. What is the problem here? And tell him that's your room over there. You ain't going to be over here with us. And that's just how it is. Get over it. Other than that, I'll cancel the room and you don't have to stay nowhere. But you ain't going to be in the room with us and 4 kids. That's not going to happen. That's too many people. Then, as far as her saying all these rude things, again, why do you guys not fire back? There's no reason in this world you, as a grown woman, should have another grown woman talking to you crazy and you don't light her ass up. Like she's like, hurt his feelings, so think before you speak. Say, why don't you take your own advice? Because you sure be mouthing off to me, talking all kind of shit don't nobody want to hear. That was your perfect opportunity to tell her that. So then she says, he invited you to come look for a house with us. I would have got in my car and drove off. Since you know that you act like that's the one that you're going to marry, that you need to be looking at the house that I'm going to be spending my money on and I'm going to be living in. I don't want her opinion about my house. So y'all just do what you want to do, and I'll go look on my own and say something what I like. And then he invited her to go dress shopping and taste cakes again without asking me. No, 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 no. You be like, if my mama's not here, what the hell I want to look at you for? That's what I would have said to her. This is inappropriate. You need to go dress shopping with your daughter. I'm not your daughter. And I'm plenty grown enough to pick my own dress. I don't need your help, and I didn't ask for it. Boundaries. And then she was rude to your friends and your hairstylists and all this stuff. You supposed to cuss her ass out. Drag her out to the side and say, look here, bitch, I know you think you running shit, but this is my goddamn wedding. And don't you open your mouth. Don't you say shit to nobody. And none of you ain't paying nobody. You didn't put a dime into this fucking wedding. If you don't like anything that's going on here, take your happy ass into your car and get the fuck on. That's what you say. I'm telling you. I'm just like amazed that y'all just don't say stuff. You just let people talk to you all kind of way and just be all rude to you and your friends and stuff. I would cuss that bitch out. Don't you even think about fixing your lips to talk crazy to my friends or my relatives or anybody that I'm paying for my shit. Get out. That's what you get, and take your raggedy ass husband, boyfriend, son with you. Making comments about your weight and how you spend your money. It's like, well, I can lose weight. Too bad you can't gain intelligence because you was a dumb bitch. And all this stuff about how you spend your money, that's my goddamn money. Nobody went to work and make it but me, so guess who gets to decide how it's spent? Me. And I don't want to hear shit you got to say about it. Shut up. So, stuff like that. But you're not saying nothing. And so when you're quiet and you have a bitch like that and you don't say nothing, they feel like you're weak and they just going to escalate. And that's why she's ramping up and doing the stuff that she's doing, because all the times when she was doing stuff before, you never said anything. You just let her get away with it. And now she thinks she running shit, and so does her stupid ass son. Mm-mm. This letter is too long, so we're going to skip that one. This is like 3 pages. Cousin, what are you doing? Okay, let's move on. We're moving on to question number 17. Male, 30 to 36 in San Antonio. Last November, my wife sent me to her car to find something. I didn't find what she wanted, but I did find a half-consumed jar of prenatal vitamins and an open box of ovulation sticks. I asked her about those things, especially since she had been waking me up every morning with eggplant. She told me that the prenatal vitamins were easier on her stomach than traditional vitamins, and the sticks were old from when we were trying to have our first daughter, who was close to 3 at the time. So, of course, later in the week, she tearfully told me that she was pregnant, apologized, and said that she was off by a week in her calculations. I never really brought her answers, and she stopped waking me up every morning the way she had been. But I gave her the benefit of the doubt. A couple of weeks ago, I heard her telling her mother that she had told a girlfriend at work that we were trying for another one last year, and she still feels badly about it because the other girl that hasn't gotten pregnant. But nobody told me that we were trying for another one. In fact, she already knew that I was done with one. I didn't want another. Anyway, I of course love my new four-month-old and wouldn't give her back if I had the chance, but I wonder if I should ask my wife again about what I found in the car and what I heard her telling her mother. Do you think that it's worth bringing up again? If it turns out that she could be a deceptive, manipulative, and immoral person to have gotten pregnant accidentally on purpose, I'd kind of like to know what I'm dealing with. You already know what you're dealing with. What you trying to play dumb for? Sir, let me explain how this works. You're a man, okay? You say you don't want any more children. Guess what you're supposed to do? Make sure that doesn't happen. How does that you do that? You take your happy ass to the doctor and you go snip, snip. That's what you do. And then you don't have to worry about that. And you didn't even have to tell her. You could have just done it, and then she'd be trying to get pregnant, and then it wouldn't happen. And then she'd be like, oh, what's going on? You see what I'm saying? So you played yourself, because you don't just say, I don't want anymore without taking the appropriate steps to make sure it doesn't happen. See, that's where you stopped. You just said the words, but you didn't back it up with action. And so, what do you want from me? She manipulated her way into the second baby she had. Now, if you really don't want a third, I suggest you take my advice and take your happy ass over there to the urologist and make that magic happen. Okay? You got 2 kids. You don't need no more. You good. Question number 18, female 21 to 26 from St. Louis. My boyfriend of 25 is a really great human being and has helped me a lot during my personal difficulties and problems. He stayed with me at my lowest when I was feeling broken, suicidal, and trying to get out of a narcissistic relationship. We have been with each other for 2 years. However, his dispute resolution mechanism is very bad. He beats himself when he gets angry. What? Throws things around, drinks madly, and engages in a lot of self loathing. I cringe listening to the kinds of things my hero speaks about himself. It kills me from within. He has big self esteem, anger, and drinking issues. I just want him to deal with these, and I want to be there for him, but it's only getting worse. He's a loser. What are you going to do? You're not a shrink. Get rid of this fool. He's just a nut, just a dusty bum with self esteem, anger, and alcoholism abuse issues. And you're like, I want to help him. He's so, he was with me when I was broken. So now we got two nuts together, two dysfunctional kooky people trying to have a relationship. Both of y'all need to be like put into the funny farm. This is sick and silly. It's only getting worse. Of course, it's going to get worse because he's not getting any help. You need some too, so it would make you want to be with somebody like this. Man, he could even smell my fart. I'm like, dude, as soon as he started wanting to, let me be on a date with somebody or sitting there talking to somebody, and he start beating on himself. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be like, and I'm going to get up and I'm going to get my shit and I'm going to be out. Boop! And then never to be seen again. I swear I would go bink a bink a bink and disappear like a puff of smoke. That's he'd be like, wasn't Deb just here? I could have sworn Deb was just here. Deb is be that out that fast. So yeah, you pound on yourself one time, throw stuff around, and talk about yourself really bad. I'm done. I can't. I'm not gonna sit there and listen to that. This is crazy. See what I mean though? These women. Ooh. Something wrong with you. Something is wrong, seriously wrong with the young women of today. Y'all just saw you have some serious problems about how you feel about yourself and what you feel like you deserve to have in your life as far as a man in a relationship goes. This is some sick and twisted shit. Yes, that is the emoji for 2020. Cut it loose. Whew. I don't know. I'm telling you, just slapping himself and punching himself. He would get to do that shit one time. And first of all, I'd have to go and write about it and make a video about it and talk about it and make it into a comedy show. You know how I do things. But in spite of all of that, I would be so out. It's like, we're not going to know. Question number 19, female 37 to 45 from Alpharetta, Georgia. My daughter became pregnant at age 17 and said the father was my husband's cousin, who at the time was in his mid-20s and married. His cousin had been living in our basement while getting his life on track. Obviously, in hindsight, not a great decision, but my husband trusted him and I trusted my husband. Dummy. It was consensual. By the way, this is legal where I live. When I found out, I tried to have him arrested. The relationship started when she was 16. The pregnancy and subsequent abortion was 3 years ago and nearly split up our family. When I saw my husband tag this man on Facebook last week in a post about a family situation, I asked him if he still speaks with him. He said the man reached out to him for advice and he has talked to him over text and on the phone twice in the past 2 months. He says he didn't tell me because I have a problem with forgiveness and I am hard to talk to. I feel that he's opened the door to this man in our lives again, and I feel he is not keeping our family safe. I feel like he shows a lack of compassion about how traumatic this was for us and should have, at a minimum, talked to me about this regardless of how hard the conversation was. This situation, among many others, makes me feel this marriage needs to end because we don't share the same values and it feels he doesn't think about how his decisions affect the family. He thinks the problem is I won't forgive this man and I shouldn't be bothered if he gives him loving advice if needed. Is it really that unreasonable that I feel upset? Absolutely not. Your husband is dead wrong. Not only that, it's like I've never seen a father whose cousin basically molests his child, gets her pregnant, and then you gonna talk to them, try to be helpful to the motherfucker again. If anything, you should be like, where are you so I can come and shoot you? That's what you, I mean, I don't understand this. Girl, and I mean, I know you have a lot to work through and you feel like, you're going to be giving up your marriage and all this stuff. Luckily, hopefully you don't have any other younger children that, this was your youngest child and on all of this. And now that was 3 years ago, so 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so she's 20 years old now. But this guy is a predator. Okay, and predators don't need to be around young women or children. Because he would do that in the house right up under you, knowing that this is a relative of his. Then, even though she's 20 years old now, he's in his late 20s now, and he's still bigger than her. He's still stronger than her, and he still has more game than her because she's still, young in the mind. And her own father is not protecting her from a predator. He's like welcoming the predator into his life with open arms. So on that tip, absolutely, you should file for divorce. And hopefully, you don't have any minor children, like I said, because they will be at risk because your husband is a super dusty. He's got that, bros before hoes thing, even to the point over his own child. This is a disgusting individual that you married. Immediately, immediately get rid of him. Yeah, I mean, I would put yeah, the cousin should have been put on blast, even if he couldn't be prosecuted for it. What he did, it should have been all over social media with his picture and everything, talking about how nasty and disgusting he is, so that everybody would know whether it's legal, under the law or not. She's a child at 16, 17. She's a kid, and he's a grown ass man in his 20s. You know, Mm-mm. And how's she gonna be giving consent to her own cousin? That doesn't even sound right. You said it's consensual, so your shit is twisted too. She can't give consent in a situation like that. She was molested. So you and your husband is confused. Question number 20. Female 21 to 26, Miami. I feel sorry for that little girl because she got dummies for parents. Miami, Florida. I'm dealing with a wonderful guy that treats me better than anyone has ever treated me before. I love him and his daughter so much. However, the mother of his child is still in love with him, and it makes me insecure. He walks into other rooms when he talks to her on the phone, and he keeps me out of the loop on what's going on with them, and it scares me. I'm getting so insecure to the point where I'm starting to question if he actually hanging out with his friends or if he's lying and hanging out with her instead. I don't know what to do. Please help. I love him and I want to make this work. You can't make it work. He's in a relationship with her and you the side chick. You the fill in until he figures out how to get her back. Because that's where his heart is. If he didn't have anything invested in this woman, he could talk to her right in front of you. He would be talking to her about you. I don't know what it is that you young girls, what you think is going to happen by writing to me about this stuff. This is your life. You need to take charge of it. You're feeling insecure because that's the voice of reason that's telling you this is some bullshit. But you're not doing nothing about it. You're just sitting there in fear saying, "Oh, I don't know. I wonder if he's with her." I mean, it doesn't matter if he is or not. The fact is, you don't trust him, and that's supposed to be your man. So, man, I don't care whether he's with her or not. He could be with Barbara, Sue, Anthony. It doesn't matter who he's with. He's making you feel insecure by his sneaky, corner cutting, underhanded, deceptive behavior. Get out of this situation. Give it a man who's transparent. Okay, who you can read like he's glass. You see everything that's going on. This is ridiculous. But she young. She only in the 21 to 26 age group. Yeah, you right, Toffee. But yeah, that's just a sad, sad situation. I'm telling you, that cousin, he should have got his. He should have been beaten so bad. By the time the police came, they would have had his ass on life support. That's what should have happened to him. Question number 21. This is a female, 26 to 29. She says, doesn't matter what her location is. Oh. Hello, Deb and the crew. I'm writing to entertain you, sharing my newest experience with a creep on what Deb calls the swipey thing. Thanks, Susan. I matched with a guy on, oh God, and he asked me out. We went at an Italian restaurant and had some pasta and wine. The conversation was brilliant. This guy seemed to be smart, well educated, and a nice person in general. Oh well, she says. I noticed a shift in his behavior when I said I wanted to go home because I was tired. He suddenly became snarky. We asked for the bill, and while waiting, I went to the toilet. When I came back, the guy was nowhere to be found. The waiter figured out what happened first, and then the reality dawned on me. I tried to contact him, and what a surprise, nothing. I paid and left. On my way home, I had sent him a message saying that I couldn't believe he left without paying. He responded that he was only smoking outside, which is not true, as I was looking for him for a good 10 minutes. When I confronted him, he called me crazy and said that I only care about money and that I should be grateful that he responds to me. I felt confused, but okay, worse things happened. Really? Where? To my surprise, today I received another text message from him saying, I like you. It was a misunderstanding. Let's forget about it. Please come over to my hotel later and watch a movie. When I didn't respond, he started to send me sorry and are you still mad messages. I was baffled. Like, yes, sure, I will go to your place because on top of being stolen from, I need another traumatic experience or abuse. This seriously creeps me out. I have a feeling that I dodged a bullet and being left in a restaurant wasn't the worst thing that could have happened to me last night. Okay, so you didn't really have a question. You just want to share your story. And absolutely. But it looked kind of shady for you to get up and go to the bathroom when the bill came. That's kind of a shady move. But, you know, he might have thought that you left, and so he left too, kind of thing. You see what I mean? Because that's a typical move that a lot of women, people will do when they're trying to dodge out, dip out on a check. So I don't know if he wanted you to pay half, and then when you went to the bathroom, he thought you was gonna leave him with the whole thing, so he just left, so he wouldn't get stuck with the whole thing, thinking you were already gone or something. I don't know what he thought, but the bottom line is, after doing that, when he called you talking about come over to my hotel, say no, I'm not gonna do that. What I want you to do is send me a wire to my bank account for the amount of money that you had me spending while you ran out on the tab. And if you can't do that, then fuck you. Don't be contacting me, you trifling piece of shit. And then you hang up. If you are like not gonna respond, no, you always respond. You respond and you blow his hair back. Tell him, motherfucker, why would I want to go to a hotel room with your two-bit trifling piece of ass running out on a check? You piece of shit. Why would I do that? You're not worthy of me even looking at you again. Where's my fucking money? That's the only time I want to see you when you giving me some cash. But yeah, you dodged a bullet. He's a loser. That's what's bad about them swipey things. Every woman, okay, I'm gonna just say this. How long we been doing What the Fuck Tuesday, huh, Ladybug? It's been like 2 years now. Not one time have I heard a good story about the swipey things. Now I keep threatening to sign up for it and record it, right? Record my responses and what happens and all that stuff. But I can't quite get my nerve up. I can't quite wrap my mind around the fact that I would have to be interacting with some dusties, because they just make me itch. Yeesh. All right, we got two left, y'all. Two left on What the Fuck Tuesday relationship advice with moi. Yep, a cash app. I'm telling you, give me my monies. That's the only thing I want to hear from you. I don't come to my hotel and watch a movie. No, motherfucker. Let's go to Lowe's movie theater and watch a movie. We don't need to be watching. I can watch a movie in my house. Question number 22. These lazy bums trying to get some booty and they ain't even done shit. He ain't even taking you out. You took yourself out and him. And he had the nerve to be talking about he want to try to get some. No, motherfucker. Yeah, the dating apps are not a good look. Okay, 20 female, 26 to 29 out of London. She says, I have been with my partner for about 8 months. If I'm being honest, it really is not the best relationship. Quite frankly, it's awful, but that isn't the issue today. No. Sounds like the issue to me. I didn't find out he was actually having a baby with his ex-girlfriend until 2 months in. By this time, I was actually living with him. What? Very soon, I know, but the circumstances were all a bit bizarre, and I didn't have anywhere else to stay while waiting for my new house to be ready. The fact he was having a baby wasn't really the biggest issue to me. He told me they weren't together long and they got caught. It happens. Anyway, he told me that he couldn't tell the ex-girlfriend about me because she would stop him from seeing and being a part of the child's life. Since then, a lot has gone on. The baby's now 5 weeks old. The ex girlfriend still isn't allowed to know we are in a relationship and now living together in my home. She has her suspicions, and I don't blame her. The baby has recently been in the hospital for a week, and he was there constantly. Obviously, I didn't have an issue with him being there and spending a lot of time with her because the baby should come first. However, he has now made me outright lie to her and tell her that I was just looking after his dog for him, and he even went so far to say that I am gay. Wow! Which I told her I was not when she rudely messaged me, asked me out of the blue on social media. From what I can tell, this girl simply wants to make sure she knows who her child is going to be spending time with, and I don't blame her. I would feel the exact same, but whenever I mention the fact I think we should tell her the truth, he hits the roof and tries to make out like I'm stopping him from seeing his child, and that is me causing all the problems. The last thing I want to do is stop him from seeing his kid, but now I'm at a loss. What am I supposed to do? When I asked when he planned on telling her, he said that she has grown up a bit. She's only 18, but he's looking at months/years, and I can't go on like that. I've been close to simply telling the girl myself, but I don't want it to cause problems for my partner seeing his child. Help. Kick his ass out. I mean, what? This is very simple. You had no business moving in with him anyway. Your ass could have stayed with a female friend or your parents or somebody. You didn't have to move in with him. You could have stayed at one of them hotels or had a kitchenette or whatever while your place was waiting for your place to be finished. You had options here. You chose to live with him and go through all this drama. And now you want to tell this little girl, because that's all she is as a kid, about you. About you. Why would you do that? Why are you interjecting yourself in their relationship? Butt out. Turn him over to her and get out of this situation. Kick him out of your house and tell him to go live somewhere else because you're done. This is a very simple fix. There's no reason in this world why you should be all up in the mix like this when he got a brand new baby. He need to be figuring out his life as daddy and not dealing with you. Okay, y'all both are confused. His priorities are all kinds of fucked up. He's worried about some pussy and stuff instead of worried about being a good father and helping his kids survive. Because it sounded like the baby was really sick. If it had been in hospital for a week and it's only a few weeks old, that's serious. So what are you doing? You worried about telling her about you instead of worrying about the fact that he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing as a new father. You have to push him out the door and send him away. Make him do what he's supposed to be doing. I mean, he might not do it, but he'll go somewhere else and not do it. You won't be a party to it. That's what I'm saying. Right now, you're a party to the bullshit and, helping him with your codependent ass. Ugh, just disgusting. I hate to see women do stupid stuff like this, especially where a baby's involved. Like he the only dick in the world. You just got to be with him. You can't find no other man to be with. It's got to be this one with a brand new baby and an 18-year-old baby mama. Shh. Question number 23. Yes, yes, they're both losers. Male, 30 to 36 from the UK. Say you're a man dating a woman for some serious time now and you're both having a great time. Okay. She's nice, faithful to you, and she trusts you completely by giving you access to her phone, computer, and whatnot. You're even thinking of starting a family with her. And then suddenly, someone anonymous finds you and sends you dirty photos of her and another guy taken from before you met and goes into great detail about her past. She never mentioned doing that, but you've never asked either. Would you be disgusted forever by her and leave, or would you accept the fact that's happened before you two met each other and move on? You're 30 to 36 and you're worried about what happened. And so what you need to be worried about or even thinking about is what kind of dusty ass motherfucker is so jealous of this girl, so mad that she left him, or some bitch so jealous that she has a new dude that she's trying to fuck it up. Either way, whether the person who sent this is male or female, they're trying to fuck up your relationship, trying to fuck over her. And you stupidly are trying to be, listen to them. What you're supposed to do is when someone sends you something like that, you laugh and say, what are you, 10? You think that this is going to change something? Why would you even bother sending me this? Grow the fuck up. I'm blocking you. That's how you should have handled it. You shouldn't have given it any credence, nor should you have, thought about it, nor should you have written me about it either. So it just shows you're very immature to even think about this. That should have been out of your mind the second that you received it. You should have given it any kind of thought at all. Not to mention, it's like just think about that though. Who would do something like that? What was their goal? Okay, you admit it was before you all got together. Why would this person dig up some shit like that and send it to you if they were not out to hurt her? See, you're not thinking. You're not thinking. They're jealous and they don't want her to be with you. Okay? And that's what you got to stay focused on. Go forward in your relationship. Ignore people like this that are haters and do your thing. Because, if she was a virgin and couldn't fuck you, wouldn't want to be with her anyway. So shut up. They always kill me with this shit. Oh, she was there was other men. Oh, yeah. But if she didn't know she couldn't make you scream like a banshee, you wouldn't want no parts of her. So I don't understand these dudes. They just really are stupid. Oh, I just don't even know what to say. The immaturity level of these men is just unbelievable. So anyway, that's it for What the Fuck Tuesday for tonight. I am just shocked and appalled, this is, as usual, at the letters that have come in. I do hope that you guys enjoyed yourselves. Thank everybody for showing up. Be sure to, if you are not already, sign up to become a subscriber to this channel. We have our annual Debuary, D is changed, the F is changed to a D for me, is Debuary. And it's Video a Day Debuary. It's our third annual event where there's a video every single day of the month. It's either a live stream, an upload, a guest interview, something, some kind of something is going live every day on the channel during the month of February. So in order for you not to miss any of the notifications, and I might decide to just do some pop-ups in there because, recording all these videos is kind of a strain. So I'm going to have to do some lives at the last minute and just to get them up. But you guys, make sure you become a subscriber so that you get the notifications if something happens. You don't want to miss even one day of this programming because it is going to be off the hook. I put a lot of work into it, a lot of thought into how I'm going to help you guys make sure that this new year and the new decade is yours, that you get to the end of it a winner, and that all your dreams, all your goals are met, all your dreams come true. That's what we're going to be working on, all right? My name is Deborah Cooper. I am the advice columnist on survivingdating.com and the host of this lovely show here on the Devsterism channel on YouTube. I want to thank everybody for coming. Thanks everybody for donating your super chat donations and all my Patreon subscribers for your constant support, and everybody for sharing links and being a fan. It means a lot to me. Thank you very, very much. And I will see you guys in a couple of days for the what you call it, the Dusty News Network show on Friday night. See you then. Bye bye.